up, Myth Guardians? Cool Cat here with another MythGARD deck. Today we are going to be looking at a mono blue Rainbow Valkyrie deck, which is going to focus on enchantments to let your Valkyries end the game as quickly as possible with immense pressure. This deck is focused on consistency, only running 2 mythics in the entire deck, and running almost full play sets of every other card. So we are going to go ahead and hop into this deck list. We'll go over the deck list, go over some replays with a short conclusion at the end. Alright, so looking at the deck list here, we're going to go ahead and go over our enchantment package. We have the Cairnhenge, a really good early game pressure enchantment. We have our Demolition Speedway, letting our guys get some overrun to push that last bit of damage. We are running the Sea Haven as well, letting your guys swing around the blockers is going to be very effective in a lot of matchups, and it also gives your minion armor too, which is going to make it that much harder for your opponent to take down on their turn. And then we are also running 3 of the Giant Stairways, rounding out our enchantment package, which will just give you a little bit of reach at the end of the game, make your big guys a little bit bigger, your small guys a little more difficult to deal with. Now we're going to go over our Valkyrie package. We're running the Scouts, just a good 1-drop with Swift, let you dance around any blockers. We're running the Valkyrie Tough. That's a really strong 2-drop, a 2-mana 3/3 is the best stat line for any 2-drop in the game. We are running 3 of the sidecars. This will help you get a little bit of extra damage at the end. You can move this around a lot with your Bridgeway Troll to make it a little bit sneakier, to give some unsuspecting minions rush. We are running 2 of the Road Queens, buffing up all of your Valkyries, and then we are running 3 of the Storm Daughters Chosen, just getting bigger every time one of your Valkyries dies. We are running the Kara Morning Wives. This is one of the only mythics in the deck. It's a very strong card, gets +1/+1 when an enemy minion is created. It's really hard for minion-based strategies to take down, like your red-orange or your rush decks, like your orange and purple decks as well. We are running 3 of the Valkyrie Enforcer. This is pretty good tempo, bouncing a minion back into your opponent's hand, and also leaving that 2/2 body on the floor, just to get around any blockers that they may play. And then we have a pretty strong supporting cast in the 4 Thanes. This is some really good tempo. You can coin this out on 1, giving you a really strong lead right at the beginning. And then you have your Magnus Thorson, just some AoE damage on a stick. And then you have one of the star players here, the Bridgeway Troll. This will let your Valkyries dance around any tough blockers that they put down. This will also help you get some really sneaky lethals again with your Frecky sidecar, letting it move around any suspecting danger, or give any unsuspecting minions rush at the end of the day. And then for the path and the power, like I had said, we're running Rainbow's End. We have a lot of enchantments. This will help filter our draws to give us minions as opposed to those enchantments, and also get those enchantments into our hand when we need them. And then we're running Infuse. This will help trade your Valkyries up on some bigger guys. This will help get a little bit of extra damage in as well when you have that 2 extra mana. So that will be the list there. We're going to go ahead and hop into some replays and see how it plays out. Alright, so this first match is going to be up against El Dupont. We do start with the coin, and we also have the Thane in our hand, so we have that really strong turn 1 play. Looks like they are running an Angel Loop deck, which is going to be very weak against our Valkyrie-based deck. We have a lot of early game pressure, and that kind of makes the Angel Loop fold a little bit. So we're going to drop our Thane on turn 1, and then we're either going to drop this other Thane or this Demolition Speedway, depending on what they play. They don't play anything at all, so we're going to get that immediate damage in and drop that Demolition Speedway, because we're really looking to end this game as quickly as possible before they can stabilize. We pull up a Giant Stairway, which is going to be a good-looking card to burn. You do want to burn your enchantments first, so that you have more chance to draw them off of your Rainbow's End. But with the Sea Haven, that'll give us the burn there. We're not really looking to get agile. They're just dropping a bunch of enchantments, so we don't really need to dance around anything. And we're going to drop our sidecar over to the right, because they don't tend to have any hard removal this early. If they do, it's going to be a Seal of Exile, which is going to put them way far behind, and that'll pretty much steal the game for us. But we're going to drop our Kara over here and give it rush next to the sidecar, which is going to do a lot of damage. We're going to shove that Thane into that 3/2, which is almost going to kill off that Singing Stone. And with this next play, we do have the pretty much almost exact lethal. We're going to drop our troll over to the left. We're going to swing the Kara to their face, and then that'll break that singing stone, debuffing this earth slide elemental. We're going to be able to pop the sidecar over to the demolition speedway, throw it into the 2-2, throw our 3-3 into their face with our Karen Henge under it is going to give us exact lethal. So that'll show you can get really sneaky lethals out of the sidecar Bridgeway Troll combo. And looking at this next game, we are up against Jininder. I think that's how you pronounce their name, but we do have a pretty trolly hand here. We're going to start the game with all 3 trolls in our opening hand. We don't have our Thane to coin out, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's not the end of the world there. We do have 2 drops, so we're still good to go for the early game. We burn one of our trolls because we're most likely not going to need all of them. They don't have a turn 2 play, which is very good for us. They just use their infuse onto their pup there just to get a little bit of extra damage and healing on their end. We're going to drop our tough here, so they can either infuse and miss their 3 drop as well and trade that off, or they can drop their Panic Raider and give us the free kill on the Strogi pup with the Valkyrie tough, which it looks like that's what they're going to do. And with that Thane pickup, that lets us play the Thane, and then we can also coin out this Valkyrie tough, giving us a lot of pressure on this early board. And so that, coupled with things like our double Road Queen, coupled with our Kara Morning Wives, and also with our Bridgeway Troll, we do have a very, very strong looking board. They throw the Crimson Pact down to get that last breach on their Panic Raider, and they throw down the Iron Flesh to try to block. And with that blocker, we're going to go ahead and drop our Bridgeway Troll and dance right around that blocker. We don't care about you. We'll go ahead and hop over here to the right side so that we can just completely avoid it. And this is really good against this deck, specifically because they're not running that Impel, so they're not able to dance quite as well as we are. They do have the Ignition for the 3-1, which is kind of hurts a little bit, but not too much. That gives us the space right there to drop our Kara Morning Wives. So we're going to drop that down right here. We're going to swing these 2 3-3s to their face, burn a Road Queen, drop our Frecky Scout over to the left so that we can spread out our threats and make sure that we're able to at least get some damage face. So they play the Wings of Abaddon with the Infuse will clear off our Kara, which isn't terrible because we do still have lethal with this giant stairway to swing that 6 damage face with that 3 damage face, and that'll give us 9 damage to their face when they have 9 health, which is going to close out that game with that such great early pressure and maneuverability from the Bridgeway Troll. So that is the deck there. You have a lot of really sneaky plays you can make. Always keep in mind that troll where you can move your minions to get a little bit of extra damage and really squeeze out as much as you can. This deck was designed by Inverted. I guess it was more tuned by Inverted. There's a lot of different Rainbow Valkyrie lists out there using different cards like Odin Throne, using Junkyard Valhalla, Braggy, Ingrid Stormdaughter, just a bunch of different mythics that you can include, but I like this mythic list deck a little more because it'll increase the consistency of your draws, letting you make sure that you have that early game pressure that you need to close out the game, making sure you draw that troll when you really need to move your guys around the board. But that'll be the deck here. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Leave a like if you like the video, and make sure you do subscribe for more MYTHGARD content. Or remember, GG for Matt.